What's your story behind a PB&J?
I want a sandwich. I make a sandwich. I eat the sandwich.
You think I care about that? Look, I can do whatever I want, all right? If I want to shoot a paintball gun at my dad, I'm gonna do it.
Good shot, son. I'm proud of you.
Will you marry me?
What?
Could you stay in the cab? I'm sorry, I'll be right there, I promise. Or maybe I won't. What's your answer?
Using his vast knowledge of history and politics, we start our day off right with motivational speaker Richard Battle.
And we love having him on the program. Mr. Battle, thanks for being here, my friend.
Good morning. Thank you for having us back lead off this Wednesday again.
So just as we're going on the air, I'm thinking to myself, you and I's relationship when it comes to this radio relationship is so much different than every other guest that I have on. Because you take this thing Wednesday seriously. You show up 5-10 minutes early, right? And then, so we got time to chat. During the rest of the show, there's like 3.5 minutes. You got the news break, and then that next person jumps on. So there's some chatting, but you and I get to chat, get to talk about how your book's going, your next book's going, get to talk how your softball team's going. It is a whole different relationship, and I've never actually met you.
Well,
in person.
If you can keep the temperature above freezing and give us an invitation, we're happy to come to Minnesota.
Well, let's do that. Hey, somebody wants Richard Battle to come speak at your organization. Let us know. Fly him in. I'll take him out to dinner when he gets here. I just find it's different. And I like it very much. It's a whole different atmosphere because you're willing to make sure I think you and I are like that way. I'll bet you dollars for donuts when you come up here. You're never late for a meeting. You were there 10 minutes early or you're late.
Well, if I'm late, there's something wrong.
That's what I'm saying. Because I don't know what you were in big business back in the day. Sales, you did sales for a while?
Well, sales and management, yes.
See, that was being in sales. I would drive to an appointment if I didn't know the town, if I didn't know where I was at. I'd get there 15, 20 minutes early, drive by the building so I knew exactly where I had to go, then go find a pop at the Quick Trip or something. I would make sure that I was there 10 minutes. If not, I was late. And I get that idea out of you as well. And that's true, isn't it? Yes,
it is.
True. Yeah, yes. It's a personality disorder. It really is. Speaking of personality disorder, I love the topic today. We all have been given gifts, and you have to use your gift to help others. I mean, this is what we do. I think this is one of the hardest things in life to do is figure out what that gift is. And the sooner you get that gift figured out, I think the easier your life will go in the long run when you can find it. We've all been given gifts.
And I'll tell you something else, that until later in my life, organizations and courses and everything else, improvement courses, all distracted people from finding their gifts because it focused on our things that we needed to improve on as opposed to making our gifts better.
Yeah.
And so there's certain things that I am not gifted in at all. I can't carry a tune in a number 3 wash tub. It doesn't matter how much training I have. I'll never be a singer. I can't play a musical instrument. The AM radio is the closest I get to that. It doesn't matter how much I work at it. I can't do it.
Yeah.
So why waste time on that? Why not work on things that I can improve that are my strengths, and I can become the best I can be in that area? And so I think that's where people need to help their children discover their gifts early and then work on that gift to maximize it. And so I think personal development courses and things are doing that more now than they used to.
Yeah. And again, I think a parent who can help their child figure that out early and not stifle them. Oh, you're into music, then don't let them play sports or anything. I'm not saying that. But you find out what all their interests are and where they excel, and then see if that can be a thing for them. I completely agree. I think, what am I, 60? He was 55 before I even started thinking in that lines. I was reading the self-help books, how do you become a better salesman, yada, yada. It's not something I wanted to do, but I felt I had to be better at whatever I was doing. I completely agree. We got lost in our generation forgetting that.
Well, we did, and the topic to get today is different as far as gifts and leadership than we normally discuss. And that was part of the reason I wanted to use it as an illustration, because it came from a different area, and that is the area of music. Again, I have no talent, but I love this person and what he did to give us and our country this gift he gave us that makes our country better.
Yeah, you had Adam Smith had this thing about we're all better if everybody's pursuing their gifts. And it is the difference between America and all other countries, right? In America, you're allowed to go. Yes,
the freedom, and he wrote in the book "The Wealth of Nations." He called it the invisible hand, and he said when everybody pursued their own gift and interest, they all ended up through this invisible hand coming together and making the country better. Versus a government or somebody else trying to tell people you're going to be a salesman, you're going to be a banker, whatever it is. When people are free to pursue what they want, it all complements each other. And I think that's part of the hand of Providence helping us as well. And that's been something that's helped our country prosper because of that freedom. And John Philip Sousa, the great musician and composers who we're talking about today, is the example.
Well, and the reason we're talking about him, he's part of this whole 250th anniversary. But I just love this idea that if everyone's doing their best at what they do best, the overall picture gets better multiple times over. I love that. So John Philip Sousa's birthday is when? This week?
Well, it was
this month.
This October 1st, 1880s, when he assumed the role of leader of the United States Marine Corps band. And they'd had a band, but generally the leaders played existing music and were not the brilliant composer that he was, because he ended up composing hundreds of marches and other type music, but they are the standards of our patriotic music outside of the national anthem today that we hear at Memorial Day, Labor Day, July 4th, all the holidays and through all the military bands. These are the type of songs we hear that hopefully make our heart beat a little bit faster.
Back in the day, in the 1800s, I think people were more reticent to let the cream float to the top. John Philip Sousa is in the Marines, and somebody somewhere figured out this guy knew music and got him where he needs to be so he could take over the whole thing. And I think what you said, he was there for a better part of a decade, right?
Well, first thing was his dad was in the Marine Corps band.
Okay.
His dad had to nurture his gift, and he apprenticed him to the Marine Corps band when he was 13 years old. So they recognized he had a gift to have that particular honor at that time. Can you imagine somebody today participating with a Marine Corps band or any service band at 13 years old? And so he took that, though, and that helped develop his inherent gift that ended up leading the band and composing all this great music.
All right, well, we'll talk some more about John Philip Sousa right after this, some of his accomplishments, some of the things you'll know, some of the songs you know. We'll do that right after this. I've got Richard Battle on the Al Travis Show.
When the stakes are high at the Minnesota Capitol, you need more than a lobbyist. You need a partner. At Momentum Advocacy, we bring nearly 90 years of combined experience in government relations, public affairs, and strategic communications. From nonprofits to national corporations, we help organizations navigate Minnesota's political landscape with integrity, insight, and results. Whether you need legislative champions or headlines, Momentum Advocacy delivers. For more, visit momentum-advocacy.com. Momentum Advocacy, your friends at the Capitol.
Think about it. Now that school's back in session, how are Minnesota students doing? Not very well. Minnesota ACT scores fell again last year and are the lowest they've been in 10 years. In fact, fewer than half of Minnesota students can either read or do math at grade level. Think about it. We used to brag about our schools. Now we're losing to states like Mississippi. Visit AmericanExperiment.org for more information. Think About It is brought to you by Center of the American Experiment, Minnesota's think tank.
Easily offended? The Al Travis Show is not for you. The Al Travis Show. All sides are welcome.
And we're lucky to have him on. He is Richard Battle, talking about John Philip Sousa and using your natural talents, your innate abilities to do the best you can. What are some? He made a lot of songs, right? I mean, John Phillips was quite the prolific music writer.
Well, yes, and I mean the first one, which is the National March of the United States, is the Stars and Stripes Forever.
Yes,
and that was a song that was inspired to him, and he wrote very quickly because of this inspiration and his belief that he was gifted and he was given inspiration to write this particular music. And Semper Fidelis, which is the Marine Corps march that people will recognize, Washington Post March, so many others that people will recognize if they hear a band play in a march fashion as well.
And he was quite pro-America, right? I mean, this guy was a born-in-the-wool Marine. He was in the Navy. He started playing, like you said, he was 13. His dad was in beforehand. This guy, you don't get more patriotic than John Philip Sousa, right?
Well, he was back very patriotic, and patriotism in those days, as it was until recently, was not a partisan issue. People loved America. They wanted America to succeed. They recognized if they succeeded, they contributed to America. If America succeeded, it contributed to them. So it was very much a pro-America belief that he lived.
And was he just into the marching band thing, or did he do other types of music as well?
Well, that's interesting because he did other types of music and he loved other types of music, but it seemed like everything steered him into the marches and patriotic type music. It seemed like Providence steered him that direction. So you don't see as many other types of musics displayed or associated with him.
Okay, got it.
But he used his gift, but he also allowed time and hard work to multiply it. And that's the key. We see gifted people. I can remember a kid when I was in middle school or junior high back in those days. He was the best athlete I ever saw growing up, but he wasted his talent because he did not work hard at it. And so that hard work complements those gifts that we're given. We can't just rely on the gift only to maximize our accomplishments.
I liked your idea that you talked about. You knew very early on, like you had no musical talent, because you and I are in the same boat. I played the tuba for exactly 1 year in 6th grade, and then realized there was more than just 8 notes. Like there's just what? And I got out. I couldn't handle it. It was like too much. I look at a piano keyboard and like 88 keys, and some are missing. You know, they got it doesn't. They say it's math. I rather enjoy math, but I don't even see what they're talking about when it comes to piano. You know what I'm saying? I have nothing there. I ran from band. Not to me, people who get it amaze me, but I ran from because what a waste of my time. I don't even understand the concept.
I think I'm the only person that was ever asked to lip sync in the 2nd grade Christmas pageant. So that was when I discovered it, that I had no gift for music.
You know, and I know that had to hurt your feelings a little bit, and your parents as well. Being married to a teacher and how much they love little 2nd grade kids. How hard was that for that music teacher to walk up to little Richard and say, "Little Richard, do me just a small favor. Don't sing. Move your lips."
Yes. I can still remember it happening in the school cafeteria right in front of the stage.
You know what they should do? Literally at that point, because I don't know, it's like they have all these things you have to do to graduate, right? You got to play so much, doing music so much and art. They should literally, when that teacher did that to you, should have the right to write you a note, put it in your file, that you never had to take musical stuff again. Go find writing, go do whatever you're going to do, but she can excuse you the rest of your life. Because you know that would get me? Art. I love art when I see it. I couldn't draw you more than a stick man ever in art class. I go through art class, clay, it doesn't make sense to me. So they should have let me out of it instead of just torturing me through it for years. right?
Yes, I agree. Art is another one of those classes that I avoided.
Well, and again, those are the people that do it. I respect the heck out of. You look at paintings that actually look like what you want them to look like. I'm just amazed by it. But at some point, an art teacher should have said, "Al, you are excused for life from playing in this park because you're just wasting people's time." And I think that would have helped.
It's another example of the gifts we're each given. And if you have a family with several kids, they're all different. You recognize that, and no one's going to change that. So we need to maximize their enjoyment and production of those gifts.
I love that. I'm glad we're talking about John Philip Sousa today because, of course, this year is the 250th anniversary. You're going to hear all these marches, all these songs coming up as they do things to celebrate it. Just know where it came from. I love that.
That's absolutely correct. And every time you do, your feet are going to tap with the music for sure.
Absolutely. And just so you know, you can read all about John Philip Sousa. He is on page 161, Americans Who Made America, 19th Century Growth, Division, and Reunification. You'll find out so much more about this guy than you even thought. I mean, what's funny is in our history, who wrote that song? John Philip Sousa. He made music. And that's about the extent of the history you get with this guy. Richard fills in the blanks. I love this book. People got to get it. Tell me how.
Well, thank you. All books are signed at richardbattle.com. If you'd like something inscribed for a gift, email me, richard@richardbattle.com after you order. We're happy to do that. And the holidays start Friday with Halloween. And all 12 books are at Amazon, including 11 books that are in Kindle and 8, including this one, that are in audio versions also.
I can't think of a better Halloween gift than the gift of reading Americans Who Made America. Get your copies today. Give them out to your kids. If you really want to be that great neighbor, buy a bunch of copies and hand them out to the little trolls when they come by. It is the gift-giving season. You are correct, Mr. Battle.
Well, just remember, the dentists like the candy the best.
We had a dentist always handed out toothbrushes. Just stop going to his house. How many times you need to? No kid wants a toothbrush. All right, Mr. Battle, appreciate you very much being on the program, my friend. Thank you for coming down.
Always my pleasure. God bless America.
If you